Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mid-Module 2 announcement. There are just a few things I want to go over with you to ensure that you are having a successful week. There are 4 things I'm going to be going over with you today. The first one is grades. So now we're getting into a rhythm of submitting assignments and getting feedback along the way. So it's really important that you actually are looking over the feedback that I provide. So whether we're talking about in discussions where I may ask you a question to kind of further your ideas, that's happening a lot. And so that you're looking at the feedback to be able to adjust your learning or re-clarify your learning, or even just to get a Yahoo, you're on the right track from me as you move forward into submitting your assignments. So grades are an important part as they relate to feedback because they are kind of intertwined. If you look at the feedback and I have a correction for you, then you can actually go ahead and make that correction. I do want to give a shout out to a few people that have actually looked at their assignments and I'm sure got some really good feedback from my comments. And those are Ginny Beth, Kat, Lucas, Cheyenne, and Alyssa. So keep up the good work in terms of looking at the feedback and making sure that it's helping you along the way. I certainly hope that's working for you. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about is engagement on discussions. I am noticing a little bit of waning on the discussions as far as number 1, presence, making sure that we're in there most days of the week. And the other thing is the depth of the conversation. So I do try to structure those engagements probably every other day or every third day. And each workshop, because they have a couple of questions within them, asks that you engage with them at least for 2 days. So that's kind of the way that I structure those workshops and those discussions within them so that you can kind of come back to them and look at other people. I hope you're learning from your classmates too, where you might be making the same writing comments or the same writing habits that somebody else has, and I may be correcting some of those habits. So it's important that you look at those and look at other people and chime in and saying, yes, I'm kind of doing the same thing, or I'm struggling with the same thing, or you may find that you're doing something that you don't know why you're doing it in writing, but somebody else is doing the same thing and I may have made a corrective comment. So I want to make sure that we're in there most days of the week in order to earn the full points for that engagement. And the other thing with engagement is I'm noticing a lot of texting or lack of consideration for grammar and mechanics. So that's really important. We are at the college level writing, and that is the expectation. So beginning this week, I will make sure and account for that in the grading side, but I also want to encourage you that this is an image that you're projecting upon yourself and your classmates. So it's always good to have the best quality writing. Even if you have to download, there's a Chrome extension called Grammarly that I use just to make sure. Sometimes I make typos. I make sure that Grammarly actually helps me correct some of those mistakes. It's a good idea along the way, no matter what class you're writing in. Okay, so the third thing I want to talk about is the peer review coming up this week. This is a challenge for me a little bit because I'm a little new to the peer review idea within Canvas. You're going to be submitting your rough draft twice this week. So one is to the rough draft submission and the other is to the peer review. I will then assign you a partner after I know everyone's submitted their peer review. And then that person will go ahead and follow the directions. So you'll see that there are a couple of areas where you can find out how to engage in the peer review within the assignment directions of peer review. I know I'm repeating myself, but at the same time, it'll give you some instructions and there'll be a Google Doc in there for you to engage in, as well as engage in some of the annotation features on the submission. Okay, let me know if you have any questions related to that and I'll do my best to help because like I said, I'm new to it too. The fourth thing I want to talk about is the reflection. I think I may have goofed on that one a little bit in opening it up. I didn't say anything about reflection, but it's important that you reflect on your learning and your development as a writer. So I do change the reflection prompt each week. So it's going to be different because I know that your growth as a writer is changing from week to week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those on Monday and have those due on Monday, giving you some time to be able to actually reflect on the previous week and get some feedback from your assignments and discussion. I'm also going to leave open reflection 1 because I think a lot of you might have missed that opportunity. And I certainly want to hear from you. That's more important to me as far as how you are able to answer that reflection question. So reflection 1 will stay open until this coming Monday, and then reflection 2 will also stay open, and so that's for this current week that we're in. All right, so I exceeded my 5 minutes that I wanted to share with you some updates, but I look forward to seeing what you have in your summaries. I'll be grading those this morning, and so look forward to that, and make sure that you look at the feedback so that you can, if you have any questions, let me know. And we'll just keep plodding along to the critical response, which I know is going to be a great assignment to see. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.